Raj,
Herb.
I'm still getting used to this.
I know we altered our screens for this episode, so
Yes,
we have a different
yes.
view, but I think we both agree it's pretty good. We like it.
Yeah.
A
Well,
little
Raj,
more detail
anytime
on
the
my
viewers
face. I
can
can
get
see like
more
I
of you,
yeah.
that's a good thing.
Oh my gosh,
More
we're
of
a
me,
team.
not so good.
I feel like I've been out in the sun too much this weekend. I feel a little, I look a little more crispy
Yeah,
than
yeah.
normal.
Well,
But
you've been working
anyway,
out in the yard?
no, we had a garage sale this past Saturday.
Ah,
And
nice.
I was out there at 6:15 helping set up, and then we were there till around 1. So at 6:15 it was 75 degrees outside, and then you can only imagine around 12:1 it was scorching.
Crispy.
We did have a tent.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Good,
But
good.
it's that good old Texas heat.
Yep. And for those wondering why Raj is not in his usual sports attire, Raj did
Yeah.
me a favor. I'm actually on vacation.
Yes.
And you on vacation, you might notice that you go from no plans to all of a sudden, hey, we got to do this. So
Yeah.
we moved the time up, by 15 minutes there to help accommodate some of that stuff. Raj accommodated me. I think this man is going without a meal, without a chance to dress or get prepped. So Raj, I do appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
That on the show. Definitely.
No problem. I think when it comes to vacations, I think it depends on who you're with. When it's guys, it's just strictly guys. There's no plans at all. It's just we'll figure it out when we get there. But when you go with family members or things like that, they kind of want to do other things, so you just kind of have to adjust. But it is all good. Glad to be here with you.
All right, man. So it always feels weird because of the timing of our show. It's been a full week since the finals ended, but we still wanted to talk about that and talk about the playoffs. And it's like, there's a thing now, Raj, like what is the bigger thing that's happened, the end of the playoffs or all the news that we've had since the playoffs have ended?
Yeah.
Like it seems like
I think it's
morphing,
B.
right?
I think it's all the news that happened afterwards or some trades and some acquisitions that happened afterwards. Because I feel like after the NBA playoffs ended, a lot of people were just like, okay, cool, it's over. Now what? Because it wasn't really a big marquee matchup. It was good for Denver. Congrats to Denver for winning their first championship. I think it was in 47 years, I believe. So good for them, but didn't really have too many. Yeah, you had Joker, Jamal Murray, Jimmy buckets, etc., but it wasn't like a Lakers Celtics type of environment. So when the finals was over with, I think everybody was like, all right, now what's next? And obviously we got the draft coming up this Thursday. I'm not sure if that's what we were getting ready to jump into, but but there's some things that happened after the finals to answer your initial question. So those are things that we'll probably assess here.
Well, Raj, you're the talent here, so we can start it anywhere you want to start it. So do you want to start with the game 5 and then to the finals? Do you want to start with you tell me and we'll roll with it, buddy, because like I said, I appreciate you.
What did you think about the finals? I felt like it kind of played out pretty much how we predicted. I think we all picked the Nuggets to win. It was just a matter of 5 or 6 games. So I think Joker obviously put on a historic performance. He was the obvious finals MVP. Jamal Murray stepped up, played well. Aaron Gordon played really, really great defense in the finals and probably throughout the playoffs, to be honest with you.
He did.
I think he played his part. And I just feel like overall Denver just had the better overall team, the better overall supporting cast. Bench was deeper. And I feel like on Miami's end, they just didn't show up from the 3-point line like they had been in the previous matchups this year. In the playoffs, and that's what really hurt them. I think Caleb Martin, like I said, had a bad game 1, and things just went downhill from there. He didn't really start any of these games. Gabe Vincent was just kind of hit or miss. I think Jimmy Buckets did what he could, but this is something that I also alluded to last week, that his field goal I don't know what his field goal percentage was throughout the playoffs and the finals, but it wasn't good. He's going like 6 for 18 and 7 for 21, things like that. Yeah. So he's getting a lot of those tough buckets.
He would go through spurts, Raj, but consistently throughout the whole game, it was not good.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And I think you're kind of touching on what it was, but the end of the day, what it was, Denver was more consistent over the course of a full game. Right. Like Joker was probably the most consistent player, maybe not just even through the finals, but the playoffs. Like you always knew, and you might say, oh, well, his assist numbers went up and down, but you always knew what he was bringing to the table. So you know he's going to get high touches. If they backed off him, he'd score. If they're trying to play up on him or the other guys, he'd pass. So you kind of knew what you were getting either way from Joker. But it's like you saw, like Vincent, Strus, like you said, Martin, were not consistent for the Heat like they were in the Boston series. And that's, I think for Miami, honestly, it was just really Bam Adebayo who probably had the best overall series from start to finish. For Denver, it was like whether they're up 10 or they're down 10, Denver just seems to play the exact same way
Yep.
every game.
Yeah.
And they just don't get phased. You know what I mean? They're just like, we're fine.
Yeah.
Let's run this Murray Jokic pick and roll and just not worry about it, you know? So I think, like you said, we knew that Denver was the better team coming into it, and they just kind of proved it. They were the most consistent team throughout the entire playoffs.
Yep, I agree. And I think that one stat came out regarding your comments on Joker that I think he led all players in the playoffs in like points, rebounds, I think steals and assists, and maybe one other thing. I might be missing something, but that's just tremendous within itself. That's not just everybody on the team, but all players in the playoffs. He led them in like 4 or 5 statistical categories. The only thing that I could think of that kind of resembles that was when the almighty LeBron James led all players in the 2016 finals in points, rebounds, steals, assists, and blocks.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
No, you're gonna stay. Listen, even when LeBron's not playing, LeBron's always gonna be around. He's always gonna be a source of talk. So
yeah.
But no, kudos to Denver. I guess the question now is, can they repeat? If just talking about it right now without seeing what happens in the draft or what trades happen, I say they can, as long as they can stay healthy and bring everybody back. I think they have the pieces that it takes.
Yeah. Bruce Brown, I think, is their biggest as far as wanting a healthy raise, and I don't know if they can pay him what the market can pay him from what I've seen, but that'll be the most interesting one. But I think they have some pieces. Like, obviously we watch more of them in the playoffs, and during the regular season you might go 8, 9, 10 deep. Playoffs, you're going about 70.
Right.
And I think that's where Christian Braun, and Bruce Brown, they were like the ends of the bench for them. Christian Braun, I think he will continue to grow a little bit as a player. You saw a good spurt from him.
Yep.
If they lose Bruce Brown, it'll be, like you said, who they pick up or who they draft.
Obviously,
they've done well at drafting because
right.
the top 3 players were all drafted, right? And then their 4th person, being Aaron Gordon, came in the trade as a high draft pick. And this is an interesting question right here.
Shout out to E. What's going on, E?
Yep. The Michael Porter Jr. question. So because he is their number 3.
Yep.
No matter what you might think of Gordon is made his way as like a physical defensive player.
Yeah.
If I could get something, I mean, that's just a terrible answer. If you could get something good for him, I wouldn't mind selling high on Michael Porter Jr. if I could get something more consistent. But the team you're trading to has to know that. So what am I getting? Like, I don't necessarily want a veteran. He's still young. I mean, he went number 13 in the draft, but only because of injury history.
That back injury, yep.
Yeah, 2 years already. It's an interesting thought. Here's what I'll say. If somebody called about Michael Porter Jr.,
I'd listen.
I would listen.
Yeah.
That's what I would listen, because that guy was like, a 20-13 guy and then like a 1-5 guy. It was just, we keep talking about inconsistency. You just never knew what you were getting.
Let me ask you this. With that being said, who do you think is more important to the Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. or Aaron Gordon? Because you look at it from 2 different perspectives. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
It's Aaron Gordon is more important to them defensively and consistent wise, because I think a lot of people don't realize when they made it, what was it, first or second round, and Jokic was winning an MVP. I think it was just him and Gordon, because Murray and Porter both missed that season. So I would say, for consistency's sake, it's Gordon.
Yep.
The higher upside is Porter Jr.
Yes, I agree. I agree 1,000%. I was going to say Gordon. If Gordon could give me 12 to 15 a game and just an average 12 to 15 a game, I would definitely take Gordon. The thing is, Michael Porter has the capability of getting 12 sometimes 6, sometimes 20, 23. We just don't know what we're going to get. But, just for the sake of the argument, I guess I would say Aaron Gordon for that defensive perspective. He's like their version of Draymond Green, but he's a better offensive player. So I would take him.
Just to go with the argument that you were making earlier, Raj, if I have Aaron Gordon for a whole game and he's not hitting a shot, he'll still guard, let's say LeBron James for a whole game. If I have to put Michael Porter on LeBron for a whole game, like, that's just going to, you're going to LeBron and ask him how many points does he feel like scoring today.
That's too much physicality for Michael Porter Jr. So, I agree.
And to answer this one, if I could get Cam Johnson for Michael Porter Jr., I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
If I could trade Michael Porter Jr. and like a draft pick and something and get Cam Johnson, I wouldn't even hesitate.
Cam's younger, healthier. And I think he can still produce on the offensive side when necessary. And you're asking for a 3. You're Joker and Jamal Murray are off the table. You're not getting rid of them regardless of what happens in life. So you're definitely keeping them. So yeah, I take Cam Johnson. And shout out to E again. E is always coming through with the questions and the comments that are kind of make us think on the show. So shout out to E.
Yeah. And his breakdowns. And I think what did we say later on today, he's going to cover some Miami Heat stuff for us.
Heat, yeah. I was thinking the Warriors, but I think the Warriors was last week. Yeah.
Warriors was last week. Yeah. Miami Heat will be coming up here soon. So
cool.
But I forgot my favorite Joker moment. You saw him in the interview after the game. He said, "Okay, the job is done. Now we can go home."
Now
like this man really is like.
And then when they told him about the parade,
is a job to him.
When they told him about the parade, he was like, "Wait, I want to go back home. Oh, the parade's Thursday. Oh gosh." It's like, now I have to go out here and get drunk in front of all these people. Then I can go back home.
Rod, that the NBA is a job for him, and he does it well. But he's like, I really just want to go back home and have fun.
So. I think so. I think he wants to go back home, party with his brothers, his wife, his child, do all that type of stuff, and have some fun. But up to him, I don't think he's a big stat guy. I know some people say he pads his stats or whatever, but I think he's just the ultimate team player. He does whatever it takes to win. If he only scores 11 points in a game, he's fine as long as his team wins. But if he has to score 30 or 40, he can do that if necessary. And he's an excellent facilitator. Obviously, with his size being 6'11", rebounding's pretty easy on that. So you're going to do 10, 11 a game off of rebounds. So, but yeah, I think Joker is just one of the top players in the league, and that might go into something else that we're going to talk about in a little bit too. Yes, he definitely enjoyed the parade.
Oh yeah. He was having a good time out there. He was having a good time out there.
I think Mike Malone enjoyed the parade too, and then
were you mad that he took a little shot at the Lakers?
No, I thought it was funny, and I was getting ready to talk about that. It wasn't him; it was somebody else that says that they're the Lakers' daddy. I just don't get it. I guess this goes back to Game 1 when they beat the Lakers, and the Lakers were being talked about more than Denver. But you just won the championship. When you look at where the Denver is now and where the Lakers are now, these teams are probably. The Lakers might be a little stagnant as far as trending is concerned, and Denver's just going to keep trending up as long as they can bring back their core players. So I think it makes Mike Malone look even sillier just to keep on bringing up LeBron and the Lakers. Like, let it go. Now. It's getting childish.
The only he just has to understand, Raj, especially basketball wise, and most things, but especially basketball wise. LA is just the market, You're not going to outshine like in LA and Boston if you're in Denver. It's not going to happen. And then it doesn't help that he might have like the most boring team, as far as anything. Like they don't move the needle one way or another. They just play really good basketball. So, you won the title, man. I mean, you can say whatever you want. You did win the title, and your team was dominant throughout the playoffs. So, but it is funny. Yeah. I didn't see what Bron did during the pro.
I didn't either. I didn't. Now, shout out to Big Mike. Mike, what's going on? I didn't watch the entire parade, so I missed what Bron did. I just watched parts of it. So yeah, I'm not sure what Bron got into, but he's a young kid. Keep in mind, Bron won the championship with Kansas last year. Then he wins the Denver Nuggets championship this year. So he's having two.
All I do is win, no matter what. Come on, that was a good music.
That was a decent one. That was a decent one. And you are on the beach, and that's a DJ Khaled song, so I get that. I'll let you go with that one.
Thank you.
So Mike, let us know in the comments, what did Bron do? We both missed it.
Yeah. So that's your NBA Finals. I guess if anytime if you want to pop up what you think about Miami, we'll go into that. It's like Miami, you just really felt like they overachieved to get to that point.
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed in the 3-point shooting. In the finals, like Vincent, I think Strus had one good game.
Yep.
Martin was non-existent. They just needed something else, and they kept teasing Tyler Hero, and I was like, they got this far without him, I can't blame it on them.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't just one game; it was like the entire finals. They just shot the ball bad from the 3-point line. That's what was just puzzling to, I think, both of us. And I really feel like, and they didn't get blown out every game. They were pretty much in contention in all these games, except for maybe one. But I don't know. It was just mind-boggling to see them shoot the ball so poorly, because other than that, they have to rely on Bam and Jimmy getting the points in the paint, and that's only going to go so far.
Yeah.
No.
And like I said, Bam really had a coming out party. I think he played really well in this series, but it's still solidified to me that Bam will always be your second or third, especially with the position he plays and without the outside shoot. But that's not an insult,
Yeah.
I think, and we're about to get into E's summer to-do list for Miami.
Yep.
I think they need a number 2. And so without further ado, or can we do it with some further ado?
With further ado, hey, we can do whatever we want. It's our show.
So since we're going to keep this up during the summer, the 2 things we got to promise for you, we got to get this segment a nickname.
Okay.
And we got to get some music for it.
Do we want E to give us the nickname for this segment, or do we want to?
If he wants to name his own segment, of course.
All right, E, that. If you don't mind, E, for next week, you got to come up with a name for the segment.
Okay. And then we got to come up with some music for him. So here is the Miami to-do list as the last team eliminated. Sign Porzingis. Now, Porzingis has kind of revitalized his
career. Yeah, rejuvenated, revitalized.
There you go. That's the word I want. Raj, you rejuvenated my career by coming up with that word.
We rejuvenated each other's career. I mean, I remember that time we were, Fox Sports 1 had reached out to us, but we declined them to do this. Yeah. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm glad. Shout out to the Shapeback Media Group for accepting us. We definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
So sign Porzingis. Like that trade for Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's been involved in a lot of. I guess it depends on who you'd give up, but a much more consistent shooter could have really. I'm not gonna say they would have beat Denver with Hield, but him and then number 3, Seth Curry, having those 2 consistent shooters out there, I would have taken either one of those for sure.
And let's not forget Porzingis, and I'm looking this up. Porzingis played 65 games, averaged 23 last year. So if Porzingis can stay healthy, he's still a great offensive player in this league. It's just a health concern. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Give you some more scoring.
And this is going to sound really good, but 60 to 65 games is the new 82 games. Like you can get to that number and And what is it? The NBA just came out with? Is it 60 or 65 games? I think. That you have to be eligible for.
I think it's 65 in order to get the MVP or whatever,
or to get any of the statistical awards.
Okay, yeah.
I think you're right about it being 65. So, trade Lowry for Rui and Mo Bamba. I'm thinking he doesn't like Mo Bamba on the Lakers because he's been involved in a couple of trades out there.
Well, Mo Bamba, I mean, he barely got any playing time even when he got to the team, so I don't think he really got a chance to prove himself. I know he likes to shoot threes. He's got a decent 3-point shot, but we didn't really see him in the playoffs at all. So I mean, if the Lakers were to lose Mo Bamba, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. But I do want to keep the Rui the Hachi sauce. We need to keep the Hachi sauce in LA.
I think that's a trade that Miami would do in a heartbeat, and the LA would definitely think about. And I like number 5.
Reset your clock. Yes, Dame time.
Damian Lillard.
Yes. Yeah,
I
think
on Miami, and I can have down the stretch have a day. Because imagine, and again, Denver was a better team. I'm not saying that any of this changes them winning or losing.
Right.
But having Dame in those games instead of having Tyler Hero, obviously injured at this point, but Duncan Robinson. But if you had Dame. You're going to at least give yourself a puncher's chance.
Yes.
In those periods where Jimmy Buckets wasn't playing well and they needed some outside, like Dame could have changed that series.
Yeah, I think with Dame out there, they may have won at least 1 or 2 more games with Dame out there. Dame will give you a consistent around 25 points a game, depending on the night. So.
And I remember this one, of course, because I remember you gave this out before. That's why I was saying Hield for sure. Just super underrated as far and it's obviously it's because of where he plays, but I'm sometimes surprised more contenders aren't trying to get a guy like him and pry him out of Indiana. Indiana's not going to contend like next year or the year after.
Right. And I think
Hield is the kind of guy that can, that kind of shooting can change a game for you.
Yeah. And I think the Lakers have been trying to get Hield for the past few years, but it just hasn't been the right scenario. And then one year they went and got Westbrook. Obviously that didn't work out. I wish that Buddy Hield could magically just go over to the Lakers, but at this point, I don't see it happening.
It's almost as if you guys hadn't traded for, I don't know, never mind, I won't bring it up. But.
Don't bring it up.
I'm just saying it seems
another
like
one of Herb's useless comments. We don't need to hear this.
Oh, I get my own category. Herb's useless comments.
I'm just playing.
E's NBA summer to-do list. I like that one. To be honest, that sounds good to me.
I think we got it. Mike picked it out. E's NBA summer to-do list.
So hopefully we continue that series. And thank you always to Mike. I like the Miami one, man. I think they're
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there. You definitely want to maximize the window as nobody on that team is getting any younger for sure.
right.
But they got to get one more star in there. I think
Yeah,
that's what this playoff showed them for sure. So, and you
well,
know who they were trying to get?
who?
Beal.
Well, I was
From
gonna say,
Washington.
speaking of maximizing your talents and realizing that people are getting younger, Phoenix took full advantage of that. They got Bradley Beal for, I'm gonna be honest, this is my personal, but for little to nothing really. They had to get rid of Shamet. Chris Paul was like 78 or 38, I'm sorry, and I think some second round picks, and they were able to get Bradley Beal. So
Yeah, they gave him up for a bag of popcorn and some
and a blow pop.
right? I don't know. Like that was when I saw
I don't
the
know
trade.
how
I was
that
like,
happened. But
okay.
isn't it that and I might have this the other way around. The Suns owner is related to the agent, Bradley Beal's agent. I think it's father and son or son father. I forget how it goes. But
I think it's not even just that though, because Ian and I were actually talking about this off air too. But Bradley Beal could also pick where he was going because there was no trade.
Yeah.
So you had different things going on there because Miami was close. Miami's offer, from my understanding, was actually better, but Beal wanted to go to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Now, I personally, if I thought I could be that piece, I would pick Miami because the East is like there for the taking.
Yeah.
Versus throwing myself into the West. And yeah, that's great that you might be the number 3 guy on there, but they're basically going to be paying a whole lot of money for like 4 players. Like I think 160 million.
Yeah.
For 4 players.
Those 3 and 8, I believe. Yeah.
Would be terrible.
So with that being said, though, where does this put Phoenix? In your opinion, where does this put Phoenix in the West? I mean, does this put them past Denver? Because keep in mind, they beat Denver 2 games with just KD and Book. Now they've got another arsenal in their weapon. So,
well, my thing
another weapon in their arsenal. I'm sorry.
I would almost expect them to have nothing as far as a bench, right? Yeah. One of those guys look at what happened with the Clippers. One of those guys gets hurt, and that tanks their chances. And over a 7-game series, do I expect a new coach? All 4, because you don't know what you're getting from Ayton game to game. Right. So if KD and Book give me 30 a game and Beal gives me 25, where the rest of my points coming from to win, if one of those guys isn't hitting, I'm doomed, right? So honestly, in a 7-game series, I'm still taking Denver.
Okay.
I'm still looking at if Sacramento can make a move. And I don't know if we cover Sacramento as far as the much new list. So I'd love to see their move, but I think they're much more cohesive. I think they'll run Phoenix down over a whole series. I'd take a healthy Clippers team, which that's a myth at this point. That's like who's the wide receiver we had on Alabama last year? Who's in the transfer portal right now?
Oh,
Harrell. Tyler Harrell.
Tyler, yeah. I don't know what happened to him.
So Harrell and a healthy Clippers team are 2 myths that people have heard of but never seen. So we don't actually know if they're true. So, and I agree with this right here. They need to go to the local YMCA and get some bench players. Yeah. They only can afford the veterans minimum, Raj. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I think Phoenix can give Denver a run for the money if they can all stay healthy. I would still have Denver edging him out in a 7-game series just simply because Denver's depth. That's all. But I think this does improve Phoenix defensively. I don't worry about it as much because honestly, we're not in a defensive era of NBA basketball, and we haven't been in several years. I think it's just load them up and see who can outshoot who, and that's the league we're in. So I think this gives them the edge there. And like I said, I don't know who they're going to get off their bench, but obviously once Beal, KD, and Book get a seat, they're just going to be out there just floating and trying to survive and stay in the game. So I do think this does make Phoenix stronger, though. Just in my personal opinion, I think this makes Phoenix stronger.
Yeah, because they didn't have to give up a lot to get him.
Exactly.
It was really giving up way more in the KD trade.
Yeah.
Now, Book, if you're going to not really replace, because Cameron Payne is just okay. And if Book is going to try to replace the point guard position, I think that's just going to wear him. But I think you're tasking a couple people with a whole lot to do. So that would be my worry for Phoenix going through. And like I said, one of those guys getting injured, that'd be interesting. But like I said, for Beal, man, I would have picked Miami. That culture and that team.
If Beal goes to Miami, Miami is the number 1 seed in the East next year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Which was
Yeah.
weird because Miami was the number one seed, and they're number one seed to 8 seeds, and whatever. But yeah, I would have liked to be on Miami for
Yeah.
sure. But I like Damian Lillard even better. I think he fits their timeline. So I
Yeah.
would love to see if that move can get made.
Yeah.
So that was the big trade. You saw today. Draymond Green opted out.
Opted out. Yep.
Like we saw.
So I think he's going to test the waters, but I feel like I don't think he wants to leave Golden State, but he just wants to see what the market's like out there. I think there are some teams out there that could probably use his help. I know there was talks about him maybe going to the Lakers at one point, or maybe that's just something that you and I discussed. Right. If I'm the Lakers, I kind of want somebody who can give us some more points.
Yeah,
but I think,
especially if signing Draymond is like if I sign Draymond and lose like Austin Reeves because of it, I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Austin Reeves, and I know there's never a world where you thought I'd be saying Austin Reeves over Draymond Green, but feel like
we
Austin
are in
Reeves
that world
fits
now.
That team much better and gives them what they need.
Yeah.
Versus what Draymond needs to go back to the Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best possible team for his fit. And we've discussed this over and over for a long time. Like, he couldn't have got drafted to a better team. And for his career to kind of pan out the way it did, then kudos to Draymond.
Yep. What else you got? So those are your biggest. Oh, and of course, something that you mentioned there with the Rui over Draymond. I would take Rui over Draymond too.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
For the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I think more offensive minded, maybe even a little bit more size, and I think even a little bit of outside. I feel like if I get Draymond and I have to lose Rui and Austin Reeves, I'm getting less scoring.
Yep.
Draymond fits more of a motion team like the Warriors. The Lakers are not a motion team. They don't need Draymond to dump the ball down to AD because almost
right
do that. So, that's why the Warriors have operated without much of a post presence because it's motion around and a lot of shooters. Yeah. Now with Draymond, I have AD, LeBron, who's he's just not a great 3-bar shooter, and Draymond on the court. Like, who are we moving the ball around?
Exactly.
So that I feel like they're just be way more stagnant, and the defense will be good, but the offense will take too much of a hit.
I think Draymond will be too busy at the top of the key trying to facilitate everything, and then he's gonna realize like, oh, this is more of an ISO team. Like,
right. And
once LeBron gets the ball, LeBron's gonna be like, he's gonna be waving people out. Draymond's just gonna be standing around like, this is not what I'm used to. So I think it'd be best for Draymond to
facilitate.
I think it'd be best for Draymond to just, go back to Golden State, stay there. Even though Golden State didn't make it past the second round, it's not like they have a bad team. They still got some great shooters. They got youth. Of course, it depends on what happens with, Poole and Kuminga and everything like that. I don't know if anything's going to happen over the next week or so. Yeah. But he's still in a good situation. That's still a playoff team. But I think overall, Phoenix is moving up there in the West.
Yep, I agree. And we'll have to maybe after the draft and stuff, we've got to take a look at our updated, rankings as far as the teams and stuff like that.
Yep.
The final, I guess, real big NBA news that we'll kind of go into our little playoff recap that we had talked about. Ja Morant, were you surprised at the 25 games? Not surprised?
Yes and no. I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be closer, but maybe half a season. That was my initial thought, was maybe 40, 41 games. So to see what he got, 25, correct?
Yes.
I thought I don't think it was as harsh as a suspension as I thought it would be. I thought it should have been. I think it was too lenient, to be honest with you. I think he should have got 3 more games. And with the big question here is we just don't know if this is going to happen again. I hope for his sake that we don't see this happen again, because if it happens again, Memphis probably has no choice but to say, hey, we've got to move on. He's not going to learn his lessons. And if he keeps doing little things like this, then it's going to get bigger and bigger in the future. So, but to answer your question, I thought they were going to give him. It is. Just put the gun away.
Yeah.
And if you're out there drinking or having fun, there's nothing wrong with you having a few drinks and hanging out with your friends. Just put the phones away and just be private. And if you got people around you that don't want you to act like that, then you have to drop some people off your team.
Yep. So no, I agree, Ross, and well said. And there's still contingent out there that's because I saw an article the other day. He hasn't broken any laws. He hasn't been charged with anything. Like it seems like every week we end up having somebody who says that. Again, the NBA is a private organization. There's a certain image that they want to portray. I think people forget back in David Stern's days, he was cracking down. He was the one telling everybody they had to wear suits,
dress code,
to the sideline. Dress code. Like there's just an image that you're trying to portray.
Yeah,
and
it's not really. It's not a huge sacrifice to make. You're getting paid a lot of money to do exactly what you've been doing since you were a kid and something you love. Okay, so just make some changes. If it's the dress code, okay, I'll put on a suit. If it's Instagram Live, okay, hey, I'll put it up. And I'm not going to tell my team to say, hey, it was a toy gun or it was a prop or something like that 2 or 3 months after the incident occurs. Just don't do it. And it's very simple. I don't know.
I agree.
It seems simple to me and you, but I don't know. Maybe it's difficult for Ja. I don't know.
All right. So what are we looking at, Raj? The NBA draft now coming up, and Mike is already on top of it. So definitely have heard a lot about Zion, but a couple teams that I have seen call it. Obviously, I'm just reading articles. I don't have Bob or Big Mike on my side to like feed me stuff, so I'm not really sure. But from what I've seen, more teams want Ingram than want Zion, which I 100% understand. So what do you think about that?
I think it's more because of the negative publicity that Zion's receiving off the court. Number one was obviously his injuries, and I think it came out he's missed like 67% of his games since he's been in the league. And then obviously what happened 1 or 2 weeks ago with it's not the fact that they made an announcement of him having the baby, but it's the other women that came out about all the accusations and things, the screenshots and the comments. And it's just, they're just receiving too much negative publicity from Zion right now. It's not what they want to hear. They want to see him getting in shape, getting in the gym, healing himself and getting ready for the next season. And it's just going in the opposite direction. So you don't have any problems out of Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is going to score. He's going to get you points. Him and CJ McCollum are going to help lead the team.
And be on the court.
And they're playing and they're healthy and they're on the court. And they just don't know if Zion's going to get back to where he was. Because Zion's still young. He's only, 23, 24. Right. If he can stay in shape and stay healthy, he could still be an all-star and a dominant force in the league. They don't know if that ship has passed or not. So
isn't Zion like 22 actually? Because I think somebody.
You might be right. I thought it was 23. He might be 22.
Yeah. So young. But to your point, very, very young. Still out there. And this is an interesting one. So, Mike, if I'm the Warriors, the answer is Draymond. If I'm anybody else,
I'm taking Zion.
It's Zion, but
I'm gonna take Zion and just keep my fingers crossed.
What's that price tag?
Yeah.
So that's what, because and I think it goes back to what we said. There's just a lot of teams that Draymond doesn't fit on.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of teams are going way more ISO these years. So Draymond does not work on an ISO team.
Right.
So, Zion has clearly more potential and more offensive potential as well. But if I sign him for 5 years, am I going to get 2.5 years out of him?
How many games is he going to play? Yeah, right.
So that's my only issue with the Zion thing. And if I'm a team calling New Orleans and I'm doing a trade package, I'm trying to get Ingram.
I guarantee you, people are reaching out to New Orleans. They already have been trying to see what they could do. So, and you're right, Zion is 22, so he's still got some years ahead of him. It's just like, can he stay in shape and can he get on the court?
Yep. Do you know the only reason why I know his age too, Raj, and this is really sad? Because somebody posted that Mariah Mills is 32 and Zion's 22. That's the only reason why I know. So it is sad. I didn't know before because he seems like he's old. It seems like he's been in the league 5 or 6 years.
Well, I think he's played 4 seasons. Well, he's been in the league for 4 seasons.
He's been in the league for 4 seasons. Yeah. I mean, has he finished a full season yet?
I'm gonna look that up. I don't think
he played. When
you say full season, do you mean play 82 games?
Well, I know he hasn't played 82 games. Has he played the last game of the season yet? So, and Mike's coming in with that. Oh, I agree. If I'm New Orleans, I don't move away from Ingram. I wasn't saying that New Orleans was calling anybody. I was saying that when people call to address the Zion thing, there's a lot of people who are trying to pivot to Ingram instead. And I can't blame those teams at all. If I call New Orleans, that's what I want. If I can buy low on Zion and take my chances, sure. Like if I have a team, I think, like, I don't know, KC, who's maybe a year or two away, and I can get Zion on my team and let him sit out like a whole nother year and just rest his whole body and get in shape. then yeah, maybe I'm not as worried about it. But like if
Right.
I'm a contender and we're trying to win, like Golden State, they're not going to take a Zion. The Lakers not going to take Zion.
No.
You know, a lot of these teams like Denver, they don't need a Zion. You know.
Now, if Zion was healthy, if the Lakers could get a healthy Zion, that would definitely change things for the Lakers. But they don't know that.
Right. Right. So. All right, so on to the rest of the draft, Rod. What do we say? The draft really starts at 4. So there's been a lot of. Well, let's move back. We know Wembanyama's going number 1 to the Spurs.
Yeah.
It's not even really a choice, like a chance of covering this.
I think the question is
if they wait the full 5 minutes or whatever to announce his name, like they should just announce him before the draft starts and start the draft at number 2.
Just say, hey, we already picked Victor Wembanyama. You know, we didn't really record too much of it. He knows. He's known this for like a year now. So come on.
He's already at his house back in San Antonio. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Okay. I don't feel like it's fair to ask us this question because we're clearly biased.
Yeah.
But for Charlotte, Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson. I think Scoot's problem is you very rarely see this, but the number 2 and number 3 teams who would be picking him have a player that plays his position.
Yeah, they already got LaMelo Ball.
Yep. And then and then Portland with Dame. So it's now to Scoot's credit, he's already come out and said, "Hey, I can play next to these guys." He specifically pointed out Portland, said, "I can play next to Dame."
Yeah.
Like I'm not worried about it. So
yeah, but when you're a possible NBA draft pick, you're gonna say whatever it takes for teams to like you anyway. Because hey, I don't mind where I go. I don't mind where I get selected. I'll play anywhere with anybody. So he's saying what needs to be said. But
by the way, this was the last.
Zion played in 61 games. Yeah, so that's the most. I think those are the most games he's played in. And hope maybe he gets healthy and maybe he has a great offseason this year and he plays 60, 65 games next year. I don't know. He's got a kid on the way and he's got women crawling all over him. He's got and he's gonna have to fight off some other things. So I don't know. It'll be.
He's never been out with a groin pull.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. That was actually funny.
All right. So,
oh my God.
It seems like fit wise for Charlotte. It seems like if I'm these two teams, Charlotte takes Brandon Miller.
Yes.
Portland takes Scoot and they trade Dame and they kind of move into the rebuild.
But do you take Brandon Miller? Do you put Brandon Miller at the 2 or the 3?
3. Okay. I'd have to look more at like Charlotte's team and what they're.
What's up, Dave?
Terrible.
Yeah, David Ware, what's going on, man?
What's up, Dave? How you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Draymond to the Bulls confirmed. I hope not. That would be awful for everyone concerned. Raj, I don't know because I half the time I have no idea what Charlotte's even doing. You know, MJ, great player. Obviously, he's my GOAT, but as an owner, it's been severely underwhelming. Yeah. Obviously, he made a great profit, so he probably doesn't care. But
he's good.
They have not been trying to win games for a while.
Right, right.
If Gordon Hayward is still there, maybe Brandon Miller plays the oversized 2 position. But I don't know about that team. It seems like they got Ball and whoever they pick at number 2, and then that's really really it. Yeah, I think maybe take Brandon Miller just so you have more size, so you don't have an undersized backcourt. But that's it. Go ahead.
And how long is LaMelo Ball going to be? I don't know what his current contract looks like, but what if he gets to the point to where they just keep on losing? He's like, dude, I want to go somewhere else. So,
yeah. So, I don't know. I do disagree with this. It's not. I mean, you still have a salary cap floor, so there's still ways that you play. Plus, owners are going to make money regardless. So, I just think there's been so apathetic that you're never going to know. So,
yeah.
And then, Indiana's owner so he isn't a part of it anymore. I know that's what I was saying. Like MJ was terrible. So I don't know if they have any kind of direction like going forward. Have they revamped anything? Have they changed it? Or are they just in the middle of this ownership change? So it's going to be a minute before we see anything, I think, from Charlotte. So who knows?
Yeah,
I would take Miller. Hopefully get a healthy Ball back. Hopefully you're not getting like Lonzo in Chicago, who might not ever play again. Hopefully LaMelo is fine. He comes back. I would take Miller, and then I would build from there. So
I agree.
That would be my personal. But like I said, it's not fair to ask us because we're clearly biased as far as
we want Miller to be. And plus, if Miller goes to Charlotte, then you already got Bryce Young out there with the Carolina Panthers, so that'll be he'll have somebody out there to kick it with. So,
wow.
Hey, I'm just throwing that out there. But I mean, to your point, I think Charlotte just has so much to work for, and they're just so low on the total pole right now in NBA terms, and I don't know if anybody they can draft in this draft is really going to save them right now. It's just going to take a lot of time, a lot of years, and a lot of moving around.
So, if I was him, I would call up E right now and see if he wants the general manager job and see.
E knows what he's doing. E has the potential to have a front office position in the NBA. So we're going to see what we can do. We're going to see if we can make some calls. I'll talk to Bob, talk to some of his connects, and we'll see what we can do.
I hear, wow. Somebody is really working for you.
Yeah.
Specifically 17, huh, Mike? I wonder who picks at 17 that can maybe use like Brandon Miller. So.
If Brandon Miller falls to the Lakers, I would be ecstatic. I would definitely take it.
Is that who? Is that?
Just saying. We got.
Sounds good, Ross.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is why we will never put Mike out for any other job because he's stuck with us. So
yeah.
Oh, I also owe Mike a dinner coming up soon. So
okay.
We'll have to.
Where do you know where you're going to, or is it?
We never do. We pretty much decide like 5 minutes before we go there.
That's how guys are. That's how guys are. Where do you want to go? Anywhere. Cool. Whatever. Let's go. Yep.
Depending on traffic and what time we actually get off work.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Raj, moving on. Do you want to give us after playoff top 10?
Top 10 players or what?
Yes, players. And then we can go into some playoff awards.
Okay, yeah. Top 10 players. Is this people, guys who played in the playoffs or just overall in the league?
Just overall. So after watching, obviously, the playoff people will be a little bit more
prevalent
in your mind.
Yeah.
So I get that part. But I tasked Raj with this before, so I'm not putting him on the spot.
Yeah.
Wanted to see after the playoffs, after you've seen everybody, and if there's going to be a bias towards guys who made the playoffs, but who are right now your top 10 NBA players? I'm not, and keep in mind, this is not in any order. I just threw some names out there who I thought were the top 10. So I got Joker. And because we're Americans, Raj, or because we're humans, the first thing we're going to do is discuss who you left off the list. We're going to I know. And there's one name that I'm trying to work into the list, and I think you know who it is, but I'm trying to figure this out. Right. Oh, I know. You're definitely trying to work Bradley Beal into the list. No. So I got Hachi Sauce? Hachi Sauce is not on the list. I'm sorry. Heck of a player, but he did not make the top 10. All right. So I had Joker, Giannis. I got Tatum. Jimmy Buckets had a good playoff run. Is he a top 10 player? I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on Jimmy Buckets for now. Playoff Jimmy, yes. Like regular I know that's the thing. Jimmy seems like no. It's so weird. I got Joker, Giannis, Tatum. Raj, I got. Raj, I know the RFC. You've already been threatened. I know the RFC is gonna come out in full force if I leave this person's name on. So hold on. Joker, Giannis, Tatum. I still got Steph Curry. I'm not gonna lie. This might be. I'm gonna put KD up there. A healthy KD still want. That's 5 right there. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm biased kind of towards AD. I don't know about that. Who else do we got? Not Jamal Murray. Not yet. He's getting there. What about Jalen Brunson? I don't know. No, he's top. No. He's more like top 20. And that's not a shot at Brunson, but he's not a top. Yeah, he had a good season for the Knicks, and he was the only one playing for the Knicks. But I don't see, like, when I think of a top 10 guy. Yeah, I think of like, all right, I need 10 points in a row from this single person to carry the team and not get torched on there. You know what I mean? Like, we're making a comeback. I need somebody to carry the load. And I just don't see it. So, and I think he just came out with a good point. This was somebody I was going to name a little later down the list, but I am going to put Bron on there, and I don't care what you say. I got Bron on there. That's 6. Raj, I don't know that I would respect your list if you didn't put Bron on. Oh, okay. Because you're, I'd put MJ on the list right now. I still got Booker. I had Booker a little down around 7 through 10 area, but I have Booker. So that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. The last 3 were just so hard because I really, really like Kawhi Leonard. I think he could be a top 10 player, but these health issues are just kind of dragging me away from his name because I just don't know. A healthy Kawhi Leonard, I still think is a top 10 player in the league.
but there's just a big question mark there. Who should fill out the last three? Who are you thinking that I'm missing?
You know, it's interesting. Like, I don't know if.
Oh, Joel Embiid. I'm sorry, I forgot about Embiid. Duh.
But so you've got like the Tatum inconsistency, the Embiid, and it's shocking to me that a team that went out in the second round has 2 top 10 players with KD and Book.
Yep.
So I would probably have.
Yeah, but they lost to the eventual NBA champion anyway. So
yeah.
So
I mean, you got a person off of both number 1 seeds. That's good. A person off of both. No. So Ja Morant, you might think of it as like on the court stuff, but it's hard to want to mention his name.
Yeah, so. I left him off the list. I left him off. So I don't know.
Points. I see Mike and E's points on both of those real quick. So
yeah. That in Phoenix, it was just KD Book anyway. So I don't know. I got 2 more left. Who are you thinking, Herb? That I haven't named.
Wait, so who'd you mention after Book?
Embiid, Joel Embiid.
Oh, Embiid, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? This is obviously just because of the moment, but SGA would get a little love for me. On there just because of how like he's a hugely consistent scorer.
Yep.
If Dame was a little bigger, he might make this, but you know his team hasn't been consistent, so that's a tough one for me too. Just because I like him also as a player. I feel like there's, like I said, I think that the way this list is constructed, you'd have to put Ja Morant on there, you know, as the best player on the number 2 seed. And it's interesting that you probably have to put Fox from the Kings somewhere in there.
I want to see one more good year from Fox, and he'll be in my list. But
he's on that with SGA and Fox. But those are 2 that I would consider. SGA, I just saw very consistent, like a 30-point scorer any night. Like I said, Fox was the number 1 clutch player in the league this year. So that's 2 people that I would think of on this list.
Yeah.
Kawhi, a healthy Kawhi has to make this list.
That's what I said about Kawhi Leonard. Is just the health concerns, but overall player, healthy Kawhi, I think he's top 10.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Maybe we'll have to circle back to that one.
Yeah.
As far as that. So no, and so we'll cover what everybody just said that we did. So they had nothing else in Phoenix. That is true. So 2 top 10ers and nothing else. You put Durant on there with issues. Why not put Kawhi there? Because Durant has not missed as many games as Kawhi, not consistently. So Durant.
And my question with Kawhi, and I've said this several times, I think his knee is something else is going on with that knee. It's really going to hurt his career going on. It may be something we might not know about right now, but I just don't know if we'll ever see another healthy Kawhi Leonard, to be honest with you.
And that was the SGA Fox comment. Yeah. And no, Mike, Steph made the list. It was Joker, Giannis, Tatum, Steph, KD.
I named Steph already.
Yeah. So no, definitely Steph. I mean, I think shooting will, even as he slows down, I think shooting will still be there. So I think Steph will always have to be on the list. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's always interesting when we talk about constructing a show and how much time we're going to do and all this stuff, and we're like, do we have enough to talk about?
Yeah, I know.
But it's like 50 minutes in. So
and there's so many subjects we talked about, we want to talk about, but now we got like a couple minutes left, so it's like, okay, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get to everything, but that's the good side of this. That's the good
definitely
side of it,
yeah. Just so you guys know that we were definitely prepared. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and not your bad, Mike. It's all good.
You're good.
We could never forget Steph. So
yeah.
Big Mike. We can't do the show without you, man. So we always appreciate the call.
Big Mike. Big Mike. All right, let me stop. Sorry.
And thank you, E, for the SGA and Fox.
Yes,
I was definitely thinking about both of those two as well.
Yeah.
Looked like David jumped in and jumped out. I wish, well, he would have called him LeBum. He would never let LeBum be in that top
I was looking forward to another LeBum rant, but I don't know where David went to. Maybe he has something to do.
All right. Let's jump in, Raj. We're about the 50-minute mark. Let's jump in to the 3 questions of death. And then we'll tease the entertainment part of it.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, and then a good question. Is 6:45 going to be so? No, we're moving back to 7.
Yeah.
We were going to be at 7 tonight, and that was totally my fault. Something changed on the vacation part of it, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, we're going. So I was like, all right, can we move it up a little? But no, 7 will be consistent, I think, until football, and then we will just have to figure out. 6:45 to 6:30 might work during football season just to avoid the beginning of Monday Night Football, but we will have to see
Yes.
how that goes. Plus, also Rogers twins, Michael and Michaela, Jeffrey and Jeffriana. So
yeah, that might when they get here, that might alter times a little bit, but we're still gonna. Sydney's already talked to me, said we're still gonna be able. I mean, we're still gonna do this regardless, but
right. We'll just have to figure out a time that kind of works for
they might. Some of the one of the twins or both of them might make appearances on the show, so
which is fine. More NBA players are bringing their kids into the post game.
They are.
You know, you do what you got to do. All right, so here we go. And sorry, I'm getting the.
Oh, I don't want any tips from Zion.
There's a poker game waiting on me. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh wow, share tips with Zion.
I think Zion has been sharing his tip with too many people.
Oh no, oh. Raj, we're gonna get kicked off there. But if we do, what a way to go.
Yes,
Raj,
yes.
hey, that was beautiful.
Sorry.
No, apologize for that one. That was
appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're gonna start off with work, play, live.
Yes.
I got several categories for you. Okay.
All right.
This first one might get you in a little bit of trouble. So focus. Okay.
Is this like? Go ahead.
Yeah. Work, play, live. You'll see. Ready? And then, as always, you got to pick somebody who would work, be a coworker.
Right.
Somebody he would go out with, like a best friend, and somebody he would live next to as the next door neighbor. All right. First up, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Be careful.
I'm playing with Wonder Woman. I'm gonna see where the night takes us and see what happens. Hey. She can grab that lasso of truth, and I ain't gonna lie about anything. Let me see the golden lasso, Wonder Woman. I'm playing with Wonder Woman. Okay, the other two, Superman and Batman, right?
You better never watch this.
I'm gonna work with Batman. I feel like Batman would just be so serious all the time. I wouldn't want to live next to him because, like, what if my grass isn't cut properly? He's gonna come out there. He's going to pop on my door like midnight and be like, "What's wrong with your grass? Your edging is horrible." I'm like, chill, dude. You're just really rich. You're not strong. You're just really rich. And then Superman. Superman could be my neighbor. If I had any problems like that, I'd be like, dude, this part of my grass really isn't growing any grass. I need some extra water. He could probably use some of his water vision, whatever you call it, and just spray the water down. And the grass would be nice and green. Hey, I don't know what it's called. I don't live with him right now, but he would be a cool neighbor.
It's heat vision, but that's cool.
Or I could, let's just say I do some lawn work and I say, hey, there's too much grass that's blown into the street. Can you just kind of knock this out? And you're just.
You ready for this? Your second?
Yes.
Ready for your second? Captain America.
Okay.
Thor. Iron Man.
I'm hanging out with Thor. We've already seen chubby Thor, so Thor knows how to party. I'm gonna work with Captain America. I think he'd be pretty cool at the office. I think he'll be the guy everybody likes at the office. I think that's pretty cool. And then I wouldn't mind being Tony Stark's Iron Man's neighbor. I think it'd be pretty cool to just sit out, talk life about him, just get some tips from him, see what's going on in his head. I think he'd be a pretty cool neighbor.
I would have him as my neighbor just because he'd probably build a gadget to have all your stuff done.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, man, I was just tinkering around in there, and here, this is the auto mower. So, you know, grass is done. So, Mike thinking along the same lines as you. Superman, he can do all the work. That's what I was thinking, Mike, with the Superman part. Batman, his neighbor. Well, I like that idea. And everybody's going to.
Everybody's party.
The party one always seems like the easy one.
Yeah.
All right, and I feel like I gave this one to you before, but we're going to give it one more time.
Okay.
Devontae Smith.
Yep.
Derrick Henry. Mark Ingram.
Work, play, live?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to party with Mark Ingram. I think he's kind of – his tenure in the league is kind of coming down to the end, and now he's going to relax and just party, and he's got money to spend, and I hope he spends it with me.
Wow.
I'm going to live next to Derrick Henry. I think he's cool, chill, relax. I think he can watch over the house when me and Sid and the kids are out of town. I'll work with Devontae Smith. He's pretty cool. We can go get some lunch together on work and just talk about work and what's going on at work. But he seems like he's pretty chill and relaxed. So
sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Oh, I gave you the other one. That's what it was. So I texted you the other question. So
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where my other question went. All right, so I need you to give me an NBA starting five.
Okay.
That could challenge Denver and win the title.
Okay.
But you have to pick all your players from the Star Wars universe.
Can they use like Jedi mind tricks and stuff?
No, they just have to be out there playing.
Oh, good.
Now, obviously, part of their Jedi stuff is in them, but yeah, you can't just move the basketball all over. You got to play.
I'm gonna get Chewbacca strictly for physicality to match up with Joker. I don't know what center. I don't know what Chewie's 3-point percentage is gonna look like, but I need someone to mess up the Joker. I think Luke would be a good starting point guard. He's kind of young. I'm talking about 1977. He's kind of young, kind of ready to just do whatever it takes to help the team win. I don't know about Han Solo. He's kind of selfish. I'm gonna leave him off the team. R2D2 and C3PO will be way too slow. I'm gonna get the Mandalorian. I think he's smooth. He'd be a heck of a shooting guard. He's smooth. Yeah. He's good with words. He knows what's going on. He's fearless. He's gonna be my shooting guard. So Luke at the 1, Mandalorian at the 2, Chewbacca at the 5, 3 and the 4. What are those things from Empire Strikes Back? The big old A2D should I get
those
one
are
of those?
Machines though, Raj. They're not they're that's what they can take to get to the game though. They can't get on the court.
Can I use a young Anakin Skywalker? Even though I already used Darth Vader?
You didn't use Darth Vader yet.
I did. Oh, I didn't. Darth is at my 5. Darth is at my 4. Darth is my power forward. He scares. Can you imagine having Darth and Chewie on the block down there? Oh my goodness, that's a heck of a front court. So all I need now is a small forward.
Oh my goodness,
this is so exciting. My small forward would probably be. I mean, I guess Han Solo. I don't want him out there, but he'll do the dirty work. Yeah,
he said Chewbacca and Solo, the new Stockton to Malone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I put him out there. I put Han just to cover it up at 3.
Okay, sounds good.
But Darth and Chewie, oh my goodness.
I've never seen you that excited about a question before. And the question I gave you earlier, as we're winding down, because you gave me Nick Saban last week and the NBA and name a franchise. So we're gonna get you on the spot. LeBron James, give me a movie franchise that describes his career.
So easy. I knew it right when you texted to me. The Star Wars franchise has been so dominant for decades. So has LeBron James. The Star Wars franchises are still making billions and billions of dollars. LeBron James is still prevalent after 2 decades.
Yeah. And they're getting worse as it ends, and people wish they could forget the last couple.
And they have more coming out. We found out like 1 or 2 weeks ago. There's more. They're making more movies. So hey.
True. All right. Well, as the summer progresses, we are going to have more of an entertainment segment in there.
Yes.
Our first one to watch is we're trying to get some time to watch White Men Can't Jump so we can fully review it. Mike has already watched it, said it was good. So, and yeah, this is LeBron. Hero turned villain, back to hero. That's LeBron.
Yep.
But we are probably going to tease some more movies and stuff that we want to watch and talk about that kind of stuff too. But Raj, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm getting the text. I got to go play a little couple.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Appreciate you accommodating me jumping on here early,
of course.
So we could get it done and get off with. As always, thank you to everybody commented. Big Mike, David out there. So thank you for the information. Raj, any final words?
None. Just looking forward to the entertainment sector coming up, and I'll do what I can to see what I got to watch, and of course, it was always a good show.
Thank you, sir. Well, any show with you is always a good show, Raj. So
that's true.
Appreciate you, buddy.
That's true.
For Herb and Raj, this is the Herb and Raj podcast. Appreciate you listening live, or if you are watching us on Spotify or any of the places that it distributes to. Thank you for watching our replay as well. Until next week, have a great night. And as always,
Roll Tide,
everybody.